6 of the weirdest events in the history of the military. The Foo Fighters were more than just a band. Most people have heard of the Foo Fighters, but few are aware of where the name of the 90s rock band comes from. The Foo Fighters in World War II were a genuine worry. Pilots of American and British aeroplanes frequently noticed brilliant lights off in the distance at night. They initially thought the lights were either Russian or German aircraft. That was until they moved. More quickly than any aeroplane could reasonably go, the lights would turn and disappear. Several pilots even reported having dogfights with them in the hundreds of reports that were gathered. They were called Foo Fighters because nobody could figure out what the craft was or who was driving them. The Red Baron's assassin was never found. During World War I, the Red Baron, a German fighter pilot, was so well known that even Snoopy was aware of his aerial prowess. With over 80 confirmed lives taken, he was one of the most lethal fighters in history. He posed a significant threat to Allied forces for the majority of World War I until he was mysteriously shot down. Roy Brown, a Canadian pilot, claimed to have shot down his plane, but the details of his story didn't add up. Nobody knows for certain who took his life, but whoever did it will go down in history. Because the Red Baron was such a skilled pilot, the Allies assisted in providing him with a proper burial in France. Hungarian soldier turned assassin. During World War I, a man named Bélakis joined the Hungarian army. He informed his landlord that he would be absent for an extended period of time and then left for battle. When the landlord found out Kiss had passed away in combat, he decided to rent the house to someone else. He walked into a house of horrors when he arrived to clean it out. Several bodies were preserved in alcohol inside, all of which belonged to missing women. Kiss, it turns out, had been duping women into marriage before taking their lives and seizing control of their finances. A plane that vanished in thin air. It's difficult to believe that 6 planes could just vanish, but that's exactly what happened. On December 5, 1945, 5 Grumman TBM Avenger torpedo gunmen, known as Flight 19, stopped responding to the control tower while on a training flight. A Mariner flying boat was dispatched to search for the missing planes, but the Mariner vanished as well. While no bodies or wreckage were ever discovered, 27 men and 6 aircrafts were never seen again. While many rumors have circulated over the years, the disappearance is most likely unrelated to the supernatural. The most likely explanation is that Flight 19's pilot, Navy Lieutenant Charles Taylor, became disoriented and took the planes out to sea until they ran out of fuel and ultimately crashed into the Atlantic. Because flying boats were prone to catching fire, the rescue seaplane is likely to have burst. Even after all these years, the plane's final resting place has yet to be discovered. Pearl Harbor's fate was anticipated 20 years prior. Lieutenant Colonel Pete Ellis was a bit of an outcast in the Navy in 1920. He was known for being a loner who worked late into the night. When asked what he was doing in his office so late, he said he was working on a special project. And he reportedly went insane a year later. He made a lengthy prediction about the future, including Japan's strike on several Pacific islands, the targeting of Pearl Harbor, and the use of torpedo planes. He sounded insane, given that torpedo planes had not yet been invented. However, he was correct. All of his predictions came true. Following his prediction, he requested a 90-day leave, which was personally approved by the Secretary of the Navy. He was given a sealed envelope and sent to Europe, but he never arrived. Instead, he went to Japan, where he passed away mysteriously. A man who knew him went there to look for him, but he was also found deceased. It's a strange story with many loose ends, but the details are unlikely to be revealed.